Hey, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Metabo HPT 12-inch compound sliding miter saw. So let's get into it. Okay, first things first is the saw square? And yes, right out of the box, everything was nice and square on this. Right there. With the base and your fence nice and square, and then even when I first set it up, the blade is just perfectly 90 degrees, so that's really nice. I also have a straight edge here just to check that the fences were lined up, and yeah, they're everything very solid right out of the box. Okay, the next probably most important piece is going to be your miter cuts. You know, you have a good fence and a good base here, and you want to have a nice smooth turntable, and you want to have nice accurate markings for the angles that you're making your cuts. Now this one is really nice. It goes out left and right to miters, 57 to the right, 45 to the left, and just like most miter saws, you have a handle for tightening down on whatever angle you're trying to cut at, and it also has a little keeper, a trigger here. Just pull that, and as you slide it, it will catch specific detents along the miter scale here, and it will catch automatically. So here at 22.5, 15, of course 0, your 45 marks, all of your most common miter angles are going to have detents, and this one was very accurate right out of the gate. My first few cuts, I took some measurements with the squares, and nice square cuts already set here to 0. It does have a little micro adjustment here in case you need to adjust it slightly when you get yours, but I didn't have to do that. And yeah, if you go out to say an angle that doesn't have a detent, you know, you can always just tighten it down with the handle here, and you're ready to make repeatable cuts. Okay, next is your fence. It has a very high fence. This is what's called the sub fence, and if you just loosen the knob on the back of these, they slide out for adjustment, and if you loosen them more, they slide completely out. Now, this is necessary if you're going to do any of the bevels. And okay, so with the sub fences out, you can make bevel cuts all the way to 45 degrees. Now you just loosen the back here, and it goes automatically down to the left. If you want to make a bevel cut to the right, you just pull this pin and it goes here to the right. There are no detents for the settings back here, but it's not that hard to find where you need to go, and you just tighten her up with little minor adjustments, and there you go. That's a 30. Just a quick loosen, and when you want to set this back, you just push the pin back in, and it stops right there at your 90. Give it a quick tighten, and you're good to go. Here we have the adjustable throat plates. Now these just have 3 Phillips head screws. You loosen those up, and you can slide them in or out. I do have them all the way out because I wanted to check, and if they're all the way out, you can make a nice bevel cut and you won't hit the plastic here. If you're just going to be making 90-degree cuts and doing miters, then it's really nice. You can adjust these in to be really, really close to the blade and give you a nice 0 clearance, so just to help avoid tear out and things like that. Okay, one feature that I really like that was a big selling point, aside from the great price for the Metabo, is the slide here for your miter saw is forward. It's next to the motor, so it takes up a lot less room as if it were on the back there, and that makes it really nice because once I have this locked down and I have the saw blade locked down and this turned to a 45, I can use it on this little drop down section of my workbench. Just kind of keeps it nice and compact. And another nice feature is with it being on the side here, you don't have your typical horizontal handle. You have a vertical handle here, and it's comfortable, and you can use it left and right handed really nicely, whereas most of the compound miter saws, or miter saws in general, have a horizontal handle, and they're right-handed. So if you're a left-handed person, you know, this works for both people. And okay, right here on the saw, if you drop the saw down, this is the pin here that keeps it locked in place. So if you're going to transport it or move it, store it, then you just have that set right there. And then you have your depth stop for the blade and just a quick adjust depth stop for specific cuts you might have to make. Okay, now dust collection is going to be a big part of any miter saw. They tend to spit dust and debris just about everywhere, but this one of course comes with a port that exits off the back, and I have taken off the stock Metabo bag that it comes with. It's got a little zipper on it. This actually does a pretty decent job of collecting the dust, but I wanted to integrate it into my dust collection system here in the shop. So for now, I'm using the Rockler Dust Right attachment and a small reducer here. I just have it taped on at the time. This port is kind of a weird size, so I have a couple things that are close, but nothing that fits on very snug. However, a little bit of Gorilla Tape here, and I've got a really good seal. This seals on nice. These are rubber, and this is nice and tight. So when I'm using this, most of the dust gets pulled out of here and into my dust collection. Okay, a couple of quick extras that it comes with. You obviously have your vise here, and I really like this one. It's just as simple as any of the other vices, except for it's got this little knurled bit, so you don't have to use a set screw on this end. Once it's in the post, a little slot here, and you start to tighten on it, the knurled bit binds and catches and puts a lot of nice clamping pressure on your workpiece. The other little things that it comes with here are inserts for both sides, and they're called the sub table. Just gives you a little extra space to slide out. It's a height adjustable, and you can work with a little bit bigger piece. This isn't something I'm going to use a lot because I'm probably going to build some run out tables here just that I can set up and use at the time and store them away. Now this is a piece for, I believe, a job site work table, and it slides in the back there with a little keeper screw, and it allows you to set it up on a bench or a work table at a job site. So out of the box, it comes with a Metabo blade. It's a 60 tooth blade, and I think it works just fine. I haven't experienced hardly any tear out on the wood that I've cut so far, and it seems to be doing a pretty good job. So one thing that you have to do when you first get it is you do have to make a cut into the guide here, and it's just part of it. Eventually, if you slide the guide out further, you will make a cut all the way through, but I just haven't done that yet. As you can see, it says laser here because it has a laser for cutting. It is adjustable just next to the laser mount here, and you can adjust it so it cuts on the line, next to the line, left or right, or don't use it at all. I kind of do the double check anyway just to make sure, but it works really nice for me. I have it set so it cuts just to the right of the line, and that works perfect. Okay, all in all, this is a fantastic saw. For those of you who don't know, Metabo bought Hitachi, so if you're wondering where all of the Hitachi tools went, this is what they are now. I think they're doing a really good job. They've kind of changed some of the tools, and I think they've done it for the better. This I picked up at Lowe's for $3.29, which is considerably less expensive than some of the other miter saws. And for me, this works really well. It was such an upgrade from the 10-inch just compound miter saw that I had that didn't really cut square and wasn't really big enough for some of the projects that I want to do. So this has been a great addition. And if you want to put it away, you just slide it over here, drop this down, lock it, and then lock the knob on the slide, and it's ready to go. Nice top handle here for carrying, and take it to a job site or move it out of the way in the shop when you're not using it. All right, hey, thanks for checking it out. This is the Metabo HPT 12-inch compound sliding miter saw with laser, and yeah, it's really great. So hit like, hit subscribe, and look for more videos, more reviews, and more projects in the shop here. Thanks.